Guys, when I say we're in between the lodges here, I mean that very literal. We are only about 50 meters away in any direction from either the staff housing or the guest lodging. Oh, look at her, isn't she beautiful? Thank you, Solly. Thanks, Ephraim. Yeah, she's just crossing now towards the staff kayas. Now, this is quite a few interesting things to speculate about this female. I'm sure Rexon's been talking about it, but it's in the last couple of weeks since I've been away that she's pulled into this area. The sandy patch female is by now just a pride on her own. She's alone, but she also mated with those Mapocho males about 5-6 weeks ago. So that means that somewhere in the next 2 months or so, a little bit less actually, to 1.5 months, she's going to start having some cubs. Well, not start having, I guess she will have cubs. Why that's very interesting for us is the fact that she's hanging around more and more here around Voitela Lodge, the waterhole, also towards Sandy Patch. That is very encouraging, because it means that if she does have cubs, she might actually stay in this area, and it's not unusual actually. It's quite normal for a lioness to be on her own with cubs, especially the first couple of weeks, up to about 6-8 weeks after having them. But in her case, she could well survive for a couple of years just with the youngsters with her. So we might actually have the development of a very small, call it a solitary pride almost, compared to the Kahuma pride, for instance, which, well, there's still a whole lot of drama waiting for the Kahuma pride, but it would be fantastic if she sticks around here for a bit. I have to try and outguess her at the moment. She's just moving back that side to the left. But one lioness on her own like this almost becomes a very big leopard in terms of its behavior. Ah, she's gorgeous though, very sleek. A little bit on the lean side. I think part of the reason why she's moving around so carefully is that she's looking for any available opportunity to hunt. Like I said a little bit earlier, they found the Kahuma pride up in northern Buffelshoek as well, which means we can't see them, but it's good news because it means the game drives are heading that way. Very tricky sighting here because it's through a whole bunch of twigs and leaves. Luckily she's walking our way a bit. Coming down to a bit of a what we call a donga there, or sort of a little river wash. Slightly forward. There we go. She's also sniffing around a lot, so I think she's probably also just making sure what else has been around. Especially on her own like this, she doesn't want to just unexpectedly bump into other lions. You get the butterfly there. She looks a little bit rough, as you can see looking at her at the coat there. You see a few ticks here and there, and not quite the shiniest of hair at the moment, but it's because she's a little bit hungry. I don't think she's eaten, if I had to guess, for at least 5-6 days, maybe a week. And also sandy patch. She's the last remaining one, but she's getting quite old now. Again, I'm not exactly sure, but she's been around. In 2000 she was already around as an adult, so she's at least 10 years old. Just try to go a little forward again. What is she looking at? Something is catching her eye there. Typically looking up like that, I would have guessed maybe a vulture or something, but I can't see any birds of prey. Maybe just something she's trying to sniff. There you go. See the nose up again. Into the bush again. Very interesting, the way she's moving is, it's almost completely random, but there's definitely been something around, and now looking at those leopard tracks we saw a little bit earlier, maybe that's what she's smelling. She certainly is very curious about some scent around here. She's going back to that same bush again. You can see, look at her eyes also, it shows you how dark it is still out here. Those pupils nice and wide open. Very overcast but gloomy. Good weather for predators to still stay active in. Beautiful square face, this lioness. Unlike people might think, but once you start looking at lots of different lions, they actually have quite different facial features sometimes. You do get, in my opinion, pretty lions and less pretty lions. She's certainly got a beautiful look to her. She's not in the greatest condition, but beautiful lion. What do you think she's smelling, Alex? The breeze coming straight from you there towards her, so...
No. It's my aftershave, maybe.
You little carcass. There, she's picked up a stick.